it's me. So today's video is a part 2. If you weren't here last week, shame on you. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe you just couldn't make it last week, and that's okay. Just don't do that again. We're gonna make it right by going right now and watching part 1, because if you don't watch part 1, part 2 isn't gonna be as good. And then come back here and
Join the rest of us.
the link to that is of course gonna be in the description for you. Today, I'm going to be finishing up my batch of very old DIY squishies that I started last week. I am actually filming this intro before I'm able to post part 1, so I have no idea whether you guys enjoyed part 1 or what your feedback was, or if you were mad at me for breaking it up into 2 parts. I don't know. I'm in the dark and I'm afraid of the dark, but hopefully it was all good and you guys enjoyed part 1 and nobody was mad at me. Let's keep a good thing going and let's jump into part 2 because y'all have waited long enough. Let's do it. Okay, so starting with this heart thing, this one is rough. The skin is just quite loose and wrinkly. This little dollop thing that I found. Look, won't that be cute? Oh, we've got another case of loose skin. See that? See how it's all...
Yeah!
So I'm just gonna peel that away, which was kind of fun, not gonna lie. Then I just need to cut off the bottom poof here, and there, now it fits on there nicely. Kind of. It's actually a little too big. That's not ideal, but oh well. I'm going for it, gluing that on. Let's get strapped in here, there we go. And an hour later, glue is dry, and I've got a brand new squishy. Into the repair process we go. There were quite a few spots of exposed squishy flesh.
Since I skinned it.
So I'm patching all of that up and using the paint to seal on the dollop all around the bottom. Also on the heart, there's that gap to deal with, so I'm filling that up with paint. Oh, whoa, color change. Whoa, look out. Squishy painting. It just gets wild, you know, it really gets wild. You never know when the paint color is just gonna change.
Just ignore me.
Now that that's all dry, we can get to the decorating. Here comes the paint. We're gonna go with pink. I made this using a generic heart mold, so we gotta use some imagination to actually turn it from a generic heart shape into something. And since I've been on the baked goods train, I'm gonna make this into a heart cake thing. It's like a mini cake, like a personal cake. You know, like personal pizza, but personal cake. Nothing about it strongly resembles cake. It might have been helpful to use a more typical cake color like chocolate or vanilla so that it would be more recognizable as cake, but I've just thrown caution to the wind and painted it a very vibrant pink. And here I'm gonna go for white on the whipped cream. It's whipped cream, it's white. Then I got bored and I remembered last week seeing that one cupcake with the rainbow whipped cream that I really liked, and so I decided to bring in the rainbow colors. Oh, how they framed the squishy perfectly. I got the chills. Here we go. I'm using the same colors of paint that I used in last week's squishies because I have decided that officially I am creating a coordinated set. I do gravitate towards sets and groups of things that go together. Seeing that one cupcake with the rainbow whipped cream that I really is rough. The skin is just quite loose and wrinkly. Last week. I am actually filming this intro before I'm able to post part 1, so I have no idea whether you guys enjoyed part 1 or what your feedback was, or if you were mad at me for breaking it up into 2 parts. Week's squishies because I have decided that officially I am creating a coordinated set. I do gravitate towards sets and groups of things that go layer of drippy white frosting on top. Now last week I showed you quite a few of my very old squishies that I've made, but I actually don't still have all of the squishies that I've ever made. And that's because I actually sold quite a few of them back in the day, and there hasn't been a day that's gone by, I'm sorry, that I haven't thought of them. Okay, just kidding, kind of. I actually do regret selling them. I want them back. I literally sold my handmade pieces of my soul for $12 a piece, and they would sell so fast because that is honestly ridiculously cheap considering that they are handmade. But of course there were a few people saying that the prices were too high at $12, and that scared me. But also I just wanted some way to make a little bit of extra money, so you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But now I want them back. Once the first coat of that was was dry, I'd noticed quite a few little bubbles, so I went over the whole thing again, and boom, that's done. Now it's looking a little plain. It needs some love, and what better form of love is there than sprinkles? I could have done polymer clay sprinkles, but I wanted the color of the sprinkles to match perfectly with the colors of the whipped cream, which probably matters to nobody besides me. And there we have it. That whipped cream hanging over. This is not your good side, sweetie. We have the heart personal cake with a rainbow whipped cream thing. This one is cute. I do wish that the whipped cream were a little bit smaller and daintier. It's looking very large, but I still like it. Also, just a quick reminder that the Shelly and Eustace pre-order is still currently open. These plushies are available for a limb shape. I actually only have 2, but I guess I didn't fill the molds up as much for these because they're a lot thinner. I ended up making these into sugar cookies, and I kind of like the old ones better.
No!
To be fair, there's 2 against 1.
The TUI Live Happy sale is back. Save up to $251.
And we can't forget that this is actually just a part of a bigger set of squishies, so let's not be too quick to judge it now. I'm gonna move on to the next squishy, which is this weird little grub. It's a cake roll, or at least that's what it's going to be. The bottom is very rough, but it's unremarkable. So I must bring in something that is remarkable.
Ooh, it's swirly and stuff.
This popsicle squishy, which has a flaky growth on it. I want to get that checked out. Let's do that right now, shall we? Cutting off the flaky growth. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to trim this up, round out the edges a little bit so it looks nice and smooth. I thought this might look cool as some sort of topping, like the cream whipped frosting. Yes, cream whipped frosting. I don't know. So now for the sealing, not that kind of sealing. A seal. Nope, not that. Okay, never mind. We've seen this process at this point, just going all around the seam, and I also covered the entire bottom. And here we go. Bottom is still not looking great. I probably should have taken the time to trim this up a little bit before I slathered it in paint. Oh well, moving on to the painting. I'm doing another nice vanilla cake colored dessert. Now the thing about creating a coordinated set of squishies is they need to be coordinated. I know, shocking. So even though I'm showing you one process at a time, in reality, I was juggling all of the different designs in my mind, making sure that everything is balanced and in harmony. We have the rainbow colors on this one, the rainbow gummies, then the rainbow whipped cream, then there's chocolate and chocolate. I need to balance that out somehow. Too much fudge. Yeah, I was driving myself a little crazy over all of this. Next, I'm going to paint the cream twirl. I should just say it with confidence and maybe people will think it's an actual thing. Yeah, the cream twirl. You know those. Everyone knows about them. I painted that white, and then I'm going to go and freehand. Whoa, we're free. A little cream swirl so that it looks like this cake has been rolled. Although I kind of wish I had sketched it first because they do not look the same. Not just okay. Then I'm adding some of that chocolate drippy fudge in there as I did on the first cupcake, because the key to coordination is repetition. You have to find a balance between variety and repetition to create cohesion. And isn't that fudge just the prettiest thing you've ever seen? Except me, of course. Now for the rainbow element, I'm not going to go too crazy with this one. I'm going to go a little bit more subtle. So I'm just going to paint on some nice, simple rainbow circle sprinkles. These are the type of sprinkles that are very cute, but also they will murder your teeth. So don't chomp them. Ugh, just the sight of them gives me molar pain, but also joy because they're cute. Here is the final squishy. I really like it. It's kind of like dainty and just nice. It's just crisp and sweet and nice. This one was not a super common one for me to paint, apparently, because I only had 2 of them in my old collection, but I feel like I remember painting more of these. I must have sold them. Oh, this strawberry one is very old and crusty looking and feeling. I wish you could feel it. Then there's this one with a holy bottom. Doesn't everyone have a holy bottom? I really should have patched that up. And oh, interesting, I actually painted these in different directions. Which way is right? This one is also double the height of the new one that I made. Moving on to the final squishy of the series. Woo! This little heart donut thing. Why do I never know what anything is? I wish I knew what something was. Just something. Anything. This one has a few little rough spots, but I think we can deal with that. Jumping right in to start the patching process. It's time. I guess there was really nothing that I could have added to this one. I mean, I could, but it would probably look stupid. I, for one, am incapable of looking stupid. And we need at least one more Chocula dessert. So I'm painting most of the donut Chocula. That's the last time I'll say it, I promise. Thank you. Excluding the little corner, because on there, I'm going to give this a little dip action. Make it look as if it's been dipped in pink frosting. Now, bringing out these old squishies again really brought back some past feelings. I keep mentioning the squishies that I sold. You may have noticed. They've been on my mind a lot during this process, and I do miss them. To anyone out there who has them, take your $12 back and just give me my babies. This is their home. I just wanted you to know about them because they're important to me. Let's call them the lost ones. Since they've been on my mind, I decided to go back and look at exactly which ones are in this group of lost ones. And I found all the original listings for them. Oh my gosh. Wait, I sold a backpack? The heck? Oh my gosh, look at this. And this. And this. There are 6 pages of my lost ones. And what is this? Fruit with a rainbow bite? But that's so cool. Apparently I wasn't a fan of white frosting with sprinkles at the time, because that seems to be one that I keep getting rid of. This was the first squishy that I ever made. I forgot about that. And I sold it? Why? I probably sold it for like $5 because it's kind of ugly, but it was so special. I also ended up finding all these private videos that I made for squishy sales. I would just make a video showing all the squishies that I have for sale, and then I would private the video as soon as all of them sold out. I'll put the links to those below in case you want to watch them. Fair warning, they're not interesting. And this one is pretty squishy. They're kind of boring. So yeah, anyway, I do have regrets over selling these. Clearly, I don't know. I need closure, okay? I need some way to celebrate their life. Maybe I added some little drizzle onto it, and then for the final touch, I added some rainbow sprinkles onto the frosted corner. Although it couldn't really be a full rainbow of sprinkles because the pink frosting is the background, so I can't really paint pink sprinkles on pink background. Here it is. This one might be the simplest of them all since I didn't even add anything extra to it, but even though it's a little simple, I think it's still so cute. And this one is definitely kind of tasty looking. I definitely bite that. The only other one of these that I still have in my possession is this little beauty, and the two of them are actually kind of similar, which is weird because I didn't look at this before painting the new one, so that was just by chance. So, taking the donut and cupcake from last week and adding the 3 that I painted this week to complete my entire bakery cutie set. I don't know, I just made it up. Don't they just look great together? I mean, they look fantastic. I'm really happy with this set. I do love each of them individually, but I think they look even better all together. Also, this whole thing just felt so productive and nice because I finally made use of some of the old stuff that I have laying around that has just been ignored for years. And not just the 5 squishies, but also all the little bits and toppings that I added as well. So I really did paint quite a few squishies. I hope you guys are satisfied with the results and had fun bringing back this blast from the past with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!